story time! The story for today is about the elves and the shoemaker. Once upon a time, there was a poor but an honest shoemaker who had worked hard all his life. He made excellent shoes, but he did not have enough leather to make shoes. And if so, he and his wife would not have any food to eat. One day, the shoemaker had only enough leather to make one pair of shoes. He cut out the leather and then left it on the workbench. The shoemaker was very tired, so he thought of making shoes in the morning. That morning, he found a pair of nicely finished shoes on his workbench. Soon, a man came in and bought the shoes for a good price. With the money he received from selling a pair of shoes, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 2 new pairs of shoes. He cut out the leather and went to sleep. The next morning, there were 2 pairs of beautiful shoes. The shoemaker displayed the pairs of shoes by the window, and before lunchtime, he had sold both pairs for an excellent price. Soon, the shoemaker became a wealthy man. The shoemaker and his wife wanted to know who was making all the wonderful shoes for them. So, that night, the shoemaker left some leather in his workbench, just like before. Then, instead of going to bed, he and his wife hid behind the curtains. Suddenly, they saw 2 tiny elves. These elves were so cheerful. The shoemaker was greatly surprised. The elves were sitting on the shoemaker's bench. They were sewing and stitching so fast. They didn't stop for a second until the job was done. As soon as the 2 elves finished their job, they disappeared into thin air. The next day, at breakfast, the wife said, "We should be thankful to the elves. They have made us rich, and since they started coming, we have no troubles at all. Don't you think it would be a good idea to give them a gift?"
Well, that's a great idea. But what should we give them?
Asked the shoemaker. "They were torn and dirty clothes, and I worry about them since it's always cold outside," the wife replied.
You're right,
the shoemaker added. The shoemaker and his wife decided to repay the elves for their help. The shoemaker's wife prepared a shirt, a vest, trousers, and a coat for the elves. And of course, the shoemaker made a pair of tiny shoes for each of them. That night, instead of leaving leather on his workbench, the shoemaker left the clothes and hid behind the curtains. When the elves came, they sat down to work, but they couldn't find the leather. Instead, there were clothes and shoes on the workbench. The elves started laughing and seemed to be so delighted by the presents. put on their new clothes, and they were so happy with their new clothes. They clapped and jumped excitedly. They started dancing while singing silly songs on the table. And in a snap, they both disappeared. The shoemaker and his wife never saw the elves again. The shoemaker continued to prosper, but he and his wife always remembered the good elves who had helped them during the hard times. The end. This story tells us to be always grateful. We must be grateful for all the help we receive from others. I hope you enjoyed the story. Join me again next time for more learning, singing, and storytelling. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Let's Say English for Kids channel. Thanks for watching!
A is for apple, 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 apple. B is for baby, 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 baby. C is for cookie, cookie, cookie. D is for door, 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 door. E is for elephant, 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 elephant. F is for flower, 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 flower. G is for grapes, 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 grapes. H is for heart, 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 heart. I is for igloo, 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 igloo. J is for jellyfish, 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 jellyfish. K is for kangaroo, 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 kangaroo. L is for lollipop, 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 lollipop. M is for monkey, 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 monkey. N is for nest, 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 nest. O is for octopus, 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 octopus. P is for penguin, 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 penguin. Q is for quarter, 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 quarter. R is for rabbit, 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 rabbit. S is for sandwich, 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 sandwich. Is for tiger, 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 tiger. U is for undershirt, 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 undershirt. V is for vacuum, 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 vacuum. W is for window, 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 window. X is for X-ray, 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 X-ray. Y is for yo-yo, 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 yo-yo. Z is for zipper, 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 over! Let's say English for kids.
Hello everybody! Welcome to Let's Say English for Kids channel. It's story time! Today, I'm going to tell you a story about the hare and the tortoise. A long time ago, there was a speedy hare who bragged about how fast he could run. The hare wouldn't stop teasing the tortoise for being slow. "I'm the fastest runner in the woods, and you're the slowest one," he jeered. One day, the tortoise, tired of the hare showing off, agreed to have a running competition. "You may be fast, but I'm persistent," he said. All the animals in the forest felt excited but nervous at the same time. The bunnies and the monkeys whispered to each other, "Does the turtle know what he's doing?" The moose told the bear, "There's no doubt that the hare will win the race." The next day, all the animals in the forest gathered to watch. The tortoise and the hare stood at the start, ready for the race. 1, 2, 3, go! said the hare, and they started running. The hare ran down the road for a while and then paused to rest. He looked back at the tortoise and yelled, "How do you expect to win the race when you are walking along at a slow pace?" The hare was a long way in front of the tortoise, and he saw a field of cabbages. He looked back and almost couldn't see the tortoise. "Take your time," he shouted to the tortoise. "I'll have a snack here, and still I'll win the race." When he had finished his breakfast, the hare looked around to see how far the tortoise had got. He still hadn't passed halfway. Thinking that there was still plenty of time to relax as he was feeling sleepy after his snack, the hare thought to himself, "I will have a quick snooze now, and when I wake up, I will quickly run past the finish line." He fell into a deep sleep and dreamed of winning the competition. Time passed and the sun was already setting when the hare woke up. He jumped and looked around to see the tortoise a few steps from the finish line. The hare rushed towards the finish line as fast as he could, but the tortoise was already crossing it. The tortoise walked and walked, never ever stopping until he came to the finish line. The animals who were watching cheered so loudly for the tortoise. "Hooray for the tortoise! Way to go, tortoise! Woohoo!" "You don't always have to be the fastest to win," the tortoise told the hare, who was sobbing in disgrace. The end. There are two lessons from the story. First, being boastful takes away the reward you receive. Second, slow and steady win the race. Did you like the story? Join us again next time on Let's Say English for Kids. Please check out and subscribe to our channel for more learning, singing, and storytelling. See you soon!
One little, two little, three little bumblebees, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little bumblebees, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little bumblebees, 10 little bumblebees in the garden.
10 little, 9 little, 8 little bumblebees, 7 little, 6 little, 5 little bumblebees, 4 little, 3 little, 2 little bumblebees, 1 little bumblebee in the garden.
1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10 little bumblebees in the garden. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little bumblebees, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little bumblebees, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little bumblebees, 10 little bumblebees in the garden. Let's say English for kids. Welcome to Let's Say English for Kids story time. Today, I am going to tell you a story about a girl as she began daydreaming on what she would buy or do with the money she would get for the milk. It's called The Milkmaid and Her Pail. Before we start with the story, here are some words that will help you understand the story better.
Milkmaid, market, seeds, fancy dress, cake, penny, bucket or pail.
The Milkmaid and Her Pail. Molly was a milkmaid.
It was her job to deliver milk to the market. In exchange, the people at the market would give Molly money for her milk.
One of Molly's favorite parts of being a milkmaid was deciding how to spend the money she earned. She'd walk along and thought about all of the items she could buy. Molly thought of buying a new pair of shoes. She thought of purchasing seeds for her garden. She even thought about having a shiny new pail in which she could carry the milk. She also thought about buying a new fancy dress and a new doll to play with.
While there was nothing wrong in thinking about all of the things she could buy, sometimes Molly would get so lost in her thoughts that she would forget about the milk she was carrying on her head.
One day, Molly filled her pail with milk. She placed the pail on her head and she headed off to the market. As she walked down the road, Molly once again thought of all the things she could buy with the money she would receive for the milk. She even thought of buying a cake and a basket full of strawberries. As she continued to walk, she spotted a chicken sitting at the side of the road. It was then that she had her best idea. Molly looked at the chicken and said,
For the money I get today, I'm going to buy a chicken of my own. That chicken will lay eggs. Then I will be able to sell milk and eggs at the market and get more money to spend. With all that money, I can buy myself fancy new dresses that will make other milkmaids jealous. Oh, I can't wait to get to the market and get my money today.
Molly was so excited that she started skipping down the road. But she forgot about the pail. The pail, which is full of milk, she was carrying on her head. The milk started spilling over the edges. Soon, Molly was covered in milk.
Oh no! Now, I'll never have enough money to buy a chicken, she claimed.
She took the empty milk pail off her head and carried it back home.
My goodness,
What happened to you? Asked Molly's mother when she walked in the door. I was busy daydreaming about all the things I could buy with the milk money, and I forgot the bucket on my head. Molly replied.
oh Molly dear, how many times do I need to tell you?
Don't count your chickens before they are hatched. Her mother sighed. The end. There is a famous saying.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. It is commonly used as a warning to people not to expect too much on things which they haven't received yet.
Please come back to listen to more stories here on Let's Say English for Kids Story Time.
A circle, this is a circle, round and round, round and round. There are different circles all around. Bouncy, bouncy, circle round and round. Square, square, square. This is a square. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Triangle, triangle, triangle. This is a triangle, pointy triangle. 1, 2, 3 sides. Oval, oval, oval. This is an oval. It's like an egg. Sure, it's an oval. Star, star, star. This is a star with 5 corners. It's a happy star. Diamond, diamond, diamond. This is a diamond. Diamond for the kite and some traffic signs. Heart, heart, heart. It's a fluffy curvy heart. Heart, heart. It's a fluffy heart. Rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. This is a rectangle. There are 2 short and 2 long sides. Let's say English for kids.
Welcome to Let's Say English for Kids Story Time. Our story for today is about courage and strength in doing things with kindness. Before we start, here are some words that will help you understand the story better.
Naughty. Den. Mighty lion. Majestic. Begged. Hunter. Terrified. Scornfully. Squeak. grab, rope, net of rope, fell to the ground, struggle, nibbling.
The story for today is about the lion and the mouse. Once, as a lion lay sleeping in his den, a naughty little mouse came out to play and run up his tail. The little mouse ran up the lion's neck and slid down his back. Then it went up the lion's mane and started to dance and jump on the lion's head. The lion woke up and caught him with a great big whack.
How dare you wake me up? Don't you know that I am the king of the jungle? Now, I'm going to eat you.
The lion roared, his mouth open wide. The terrified mouse was shaking and trembling. It begged the lion to let him go. No, no, please don't, the little mouse cried. Your Majesty, please don't eat me. I didn't mean to wake you. It was a mistake. I was only playing. Please let me go. I promise I will be your friend forever. Be kind to me. Who knows, maybe one day I could save your life. The lion looked at the tiny mouse and laughed.
Ha ha ha! You will save my life? What an absurd idea!
He said scornfully.
I'm a lion. You're a mouse. What can you do?
The lion laughed very hard.
But you have made me laugh and put me into a good mood again. So I shall let you go.
And the lion opened his claws and let the mouse go free. A few days later, some hunters had set a trap high in the trees for the lion. The lion, unaware of the trap, was walking proudly through the jungle. All of a sudden, the mighty lion felt something fell on his head and covered his entire body. He fell to the ground and let out a loud roar. And another roar, and another. He turned and turned, trying to free himself
from the trap that surrounded him. All the other animals were shaking with fear and quickly hid behind the trees. That time, the mouse was also out walking in the jungle. The mouse squeaked when he saw the king of the jungle trapped inside a huge net of ropes. The lion struggled so hard, but he couldn't break free. And became even more entangled in the net of ropes. He let out a roar of anger that shook the forest. Roar! Every animal heard it. The lion is in trouble, cried the mouse. He ran as fast as he could in the direction where the lion was trapped. Hold still, Your Majesty, squeaked the mouse. I'll have you out of there in a bit. The mouse worked quickly and began nibbling through the ropes with his sharp little teeth. Very soon, the lion was free. All the animals in the jungle rejoiced. The lion is free! The lion said, "Oh, little mouse, I had no hope. I did not believe that you could help me. But today, you saved my life. You were right. Thank you. I'm free. You are a true friend indeed. Thank you, my dear mouse." The lion was very grateful to the little mouse. From that day, they became the best of friends. The end. This story tells us that small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Even the weak and small may be of help to those much mightier than themselves.
You can enjoy watching more videos like this by checking out and subscribing to our channel.
Now I know
It's another day of learning and fun here on Let's Say English for Kids Story Time. Before we begin, here are some words that will help you understand the story better.
Meadow, grassland, mouth-watering, trawl, hooves, grumpy, grunted, growl, gobble up.
The story for today is about the 3 hungry goats and a mean troll who lived under a bridge. It's called
The 3 Billy Goats Gruff.
Once upon a time, there were 3 billy goats named Gruff.
The small Billy Goat Gruff, the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff, and the big Billy Goat Gruff.
They lived in a tiny grassland just a bit far away in this meadow full of mouth-watering plants. To reach the meadow, the 3 billy goats had to cross a river. There was only one bridge across the river, and underneath there lived a terrible, grumpy troll. He never let anyone cross. And if there would be anyone who dared to cross the bridge, he would always gobble them up for his breakfast. The 3 goats made a plan. The smallest Billy Goat Gruff was the first to get to the bridge.
Chip, chop, chip, chop.
Went his hooves as he walked across the bridge.
Who goes trip-trapping over my bridge?
Growled the troll.
It's only me, little Billy Goat Gruff.
Said the smallest Billy Goat Gruff.
Then I'm coming to eat you all.
Please, don't eat me. I'm too small.
Said the smallest goat.
My brother is coming after me, and he is much bigger.
Then I will wait for him.
Grunted the troll. The small Billy Goat Gruff was happy to cross the bridge. Next, the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff came over the bridge.
Trap, trip, trap.
Went his hooves on the bridge.
Who goes trip-trapping over my bridge?
Growled the troll.
It's only me, medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff.
Said the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff.
Then I'm coming to eat you all.
Roared the troll.
Please don't eat me. I'm too small. My brother is coming after me, and he is much bigger.
Said the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff.
Then I will wait for him.
Grunted the troll. The medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff smiled as he crossed the bridge. Soon, the biggest Billy Goat Gruff came over the bridge.
Trip, trap, trip, trap.
Went his hooves on the bridge.
Who goes trip-trapping over my bridge?
Growled the troll.
It is I, Big Billy Goat Gruff.
Said the goat.
I am just waiting for you. Now I am coming to eat you.
The big Billy Goat Gruff bravely told the troll.
Let's see if you can.
Then I'm coming to eat you all.
Oh no, you won't.
The biggest Billy Goat shouted, and he lowered his horns and charged at the troll. Smack! He pushed him right over the edge of the bridge. The troll fell into the river, and he made a loud splash in the water. The troll was never seen again. The other animals couldn't believe what they saw. They were so amazed and delighted. All of them were so glad that they don't have to be afraid to cross the bridge. The troll was finally gone. At last, the big Billy Goat Gruff joined his brothers. They were so happy that they found the meadow of sweet green grass And they ate a lot. The end.
This story tells us that we shouldn't be greedy. We let go of many good things in our life because of our greed of having even better things.
Please come back to listen to more stories here on Let's Say English for Kids Storytime. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. What's up, everybody? Are you ready to learn the colors? What's your favorite color? Red. The ant is red. Blue. The sky is blue. Yellow. The duck is yellow. Green. The leaf is green. Orange. The tiger is orange. Brown. The cookie is brown. Purple. The eggplant is purple. White. The cloud is white. Black. The crow is black. Red. Blue. Yellow. Green. Orange. Brown. Purple. White. Black. Red ant. Blue sky. Yellow duck. Green leaf. Orange tiger. Brown cookie. Purple eggplant. White cloud. Black crow. Let's say English for kids.
It's story time once again, here on Let's Say English for Kids Story Time. Our story for today is about a lovely princess who had a hard time falling asleep in spite of the 20 soft mattresses on the bed. Here are the words you need to help you enjoy the story even more. With charm and confidence, pure and elegant, loveliest dresses, finest food, gourmet food, fluffy mattresses, luxurious mattress, peak, pour down, servant, peas or pea. The title of the story is The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, there was a powerful queen who was used to getting what she wanted.
She accepted nothing less than the best, and she wanted nothing but the finest for her only son. She only made him wear the finest suits, fed him gourmet food, and get the smartest teachers in all the land to educate him. So, when it was time for him to be married, she told him, "A prince must be married to a real princess." She told him as he listened carefully, "A real princess is not just the daughter of a king and a queen. A real princess is pure and elegant and eats only the finest food. She is well educated and reads only the greatest books and poems. She wears the loveliest dresses. She carries herself with charm and confidence," continued the queen. With that, the prince set off with his servants in search of his princess. He traveled all around the world to find one, but nowhere could he get what he wanted. There were princesses enough, but it was difficult to find out whether they were real ones. So he came home again, and he was sad. One evening, a terrible storm came. There was thunder and lightning, and the rain poured down heavily. Suddenly, a knocking was heard at the big gate. And the servant went to open it. There was a lady standing out there in front of the gate. But, good gracious, what a sight the rain and the wind had made her look! The water ran down from her hair and clothes. It also ran down to her shoes. Her clothes were soaking wet and dirty, and yet she said that she was a real princess. The prince was so excited to learn about the visitor. He ran to tell his mother what happened. However, his mother believed that she was not a real princess. The queen could see that her son had already fallen for the girl, so she quickly made a plan to get rid of her. She decided to test the lady. She ordered the servants to place 20 of the fluffiest, most luxurious feather mattresses in the guest tower.
put it right in the middle of the bed. Meanwhile, the prince showed the guest the room where she would stay and where she needed a ladder to get on the bed. In the morning, the prince went into the dining hall and peeked inside to get a look at the guest. The lady looked terrible. She had dark circles around her eyes and was sipping a cup of tea. I am so tired. Please don't tell the prince that the bed is awful. I felt like there was a brick inside it. I didn't sleep a wink all night, said the princess. The prince knew right away that she was a real princess because she was uncomfortable all night and had felt the pee on the bed even if there were already 20 fluffy mattresses on it.
The prince rushed over to her side, knelt before her, and asked her to marry him. The princess looked shocked, but since she had also fallen in love with the prince, she smiled and said, "Yes, I will marry you, as long as I don't have to sleep on that bed ever again." The next day after, the princess got a good night's sleep without a pea to disturb her. The prince and the princess were married, and they lived happily ever after. The end. More stories are coming up soon, here on Let's Say English for Kids Storytime. Let's Say English for Kids.
What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? Everybody check the weather. Check the weather for today. Look! Look, it's windy. Look, it's windy. Look, it's windy. Oh, it's fun. We can fly a kite. We can fly a kite. We can fly a kite outside. Look! Look, it's rainy. Look, it's rainy. Look, it's rainy. Oh, it's fun. Jump in the puddle. Jump in the puddle. Jump in the puddle. One by one. Look! Look, it's sunny. Look, it's sunny. Look, it's sunny. Oh, it's fun. Let's go swimming. Let's go swimming. Let's go swimming and have some fun. Look! Look, it's snowing. Look, it's snowing. Look, it's snowing. Oh, it's fun. Build a snowman, make a snowball, dive and roll around in the snow. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? Everybody
English for Kids! Previously on Let's Say English for Kids Story Time.
There was a powerful queen who was used to getting what she wanted. She accepted nothing less than the
Our story for today is
The Clever Fox. There once lived a crow. One day, he was very hungry. He had not been able to get any food the previous day.
I do not get anything to eat, I will starve to death.
He thought. As the crow was searching for food, his eyes fell on a piece of bread. He quickly swooped down, picked it up, and flew off. Far away in a lonely place, he sat on a tree to enjoy the bread. Just then, a hungry fox saw the crow sitting on the tree, holding the bread in his mouth.
Yummy! That bread looks delicious. What would I give to get that piece of bread?
The fox thought. The fox decided to use all his cunning means to get the piece of bread from the mouth of the crow. He sat under the tree. The crow saw him and thought.
I guess this fox wants to eat my bread. I shall hold it carefully.
And he held onto the bread even more tightly. The clever fox spoke to the crow politely. He said,
Hello, friend. How are you?
but the crow did not say anything.
Crows are such lovely birds, and you are very charming too,
Said the fox, flattering the crow. Then the fox said,
I have heard that besides being beautiful, you also have a sweet voice. Please sing a song for me.
By now, the crow started to believe what the fox was saying.
The fox knows true beauty. I must be the most beautiful bird in this whole world. I'll sing him a song.
Thought the crow. As soon as the foolish crow opened his mouth to sing, the bread fell from his beak and into the ground. The clever fox, which had just been waiting for this very moment, caught the bread in his mouth and gulped it down his throat. The crow had paid a heavy price for his foolishness.
This story teaches us that we should never fall for flattering words and we should never be blinded by false appreciation.
Let's say English for kids.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's do some counting. Can you count to 10? Let us count the vegetables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 red tomatoes I can see. 7 potatoes, 8 broccolis, 9 cucumbers, 10 green peas. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Continue counting 11 to 20. Let us count the vegetables. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 onions I can see. 17 carrots, 18 red beans, 19 bell peppers, 20 zucchinis. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.